Okay, we finally made it down to Arizona, getting some vitamin D in our life. Picked up our tags, waiting for the other guys to grab their things, and then we're gonna push north, get out, see if we can't get some eyes on some bucks and get a stock on, maybe put something to bed tonight, so we'll see. Well, we are going to make sure nothing jiggled loose, getting tossed around in the flight. We got here to the outdoor bow range. We're going to shoot a couple arrows and see if everything's still locked and loaded, and we're ready to go for tomorrow. So, going to send a couple down range. Amazing. Like, like I said, I've got down here in Arizona, we're on opening morning for our hunt. Right now we're just glassing a little bit of a bowl that we can hopefully catch some deer rutting in, and we'll see where they go from here. There's been some pressure, so they might tuck in up tight, but we'll see what we can find and just see if we can get them bedded and get a stock in. So down here chasing deer with Ben Brochu, Shadow Valley Outfitters. It's going to be a fun one. It's a beautiful country, and it's about 85 degrees warmer than home, so we're not complaining at all. Hi, I'm Ben Brochu, co-owner of Shadow Valley Outfitters, and we're out here today with the ABO folks and trying to dig up some mule deer on an OTC hunt. Thus far we've had a handful of small bucks and some does and stuff, a little bit of rut action. It's starting to get warm, and we're going to back out for a little bit and take a break and come back in the evening. A little bit about me and Shadow Valley. I'm one of 3 owners that own the company. Pat McCarty and Bob Dykeman started the company back in 2016, and I joined a couple years later. And we offer hunting outfitting services for essentially all big game species in Arizona, and from specialty things like the Arizona Strip and the Kaibab to OTC deer hunts and javelina hunts and things like this. So stay tuned. We're out here, and hopefully we find some good deer and get it done. All right, we're going to do an in-the-field guide tip, Ben. When it comes to glassing, different terrain, what kind of, first of all, binoculars do you like to use for different setups? So one of the things in western hunting, and especially in Arizona, we try and suggest people to buy the best glass that they can afford. You know, whatever your budget is, try and get the best that you can afford. A lot of us were outfitted with Swarovskis and super clear, crisp, great glass. We run tripods on all of our glass as well. That's quite common here in Arizona, and not as common in other parts of the Midwest and East. And we just start early in the morning and look for activity, focusing on some of the drainages that deer use to travel up and down, and north-facing slopes and such. And then as the day transitions, they'll be bedding, and so we look toward shady areas and things like that. And then the evenings, and they start to come out typically in the shadier parts of the hills first, and so we'll focus our glassing efforts there as it gets later this afternoon. So, yeah, lots of fun in Arizona. Like I said, your glass and tripod, that's your #1 tool here. So
afternoon, we're heading back in. We had a little lunch, got a little regroup. It was super hot. We let it kind of start to cool down a little bit, got some hydration, a little vitamin D, and so we're gonna go back in and see what we can glass up tonight. Well, we've been here glassing for, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half. New spot here this afternoon. We've got a couple of smaller bucks again, decent 2x3 back over behind me. Otherwise, I actually glassed up a couple of desert bighorns, which was super cool to see. And it just goes to show that a little bit of reintroduction and conservation goes a long ways. But yeah, we're gonna just see if we can't get some of these bigger deer to start moving and get on their feet so we can get eyes on them. But right now, we've got options if we want to go run a couple arrows through some meat bucks. Otherwise, the snacks are always engaged.
I never even made it out.
We're at day 2 here in Arizona. It's windy today. It's sunny, but you know, it's amazing. You think of the desert and you think of just nothing but hot, but those temperatures can swing fast. In the morning it's chilly, as you see. I'm wearing a hoodie and a vest, and here in probably half hour, 45 minutes, I'm gonna be sweating down to a t-shirt. So nose is running even. It's windy and it's chilly, but not complaining. Back home it's 35 below, so could be worse. We'll get some sun. See what we can glass up today. We've got a few, you know, groups of does and smaller bucks out in front of us, but we'll see. You know, these bigger deer have got to move at some point. So stay tuned. Guess I probably should have brought the spotter, but oh.
He's not giant, but he's decent enough for someone to go after. See that bright, shiny rock out there?
Yeah. Right here.
Straight up there.
Yeah.
Just above that. There's some does in there. I don't see the buck yet, but I saw the buck a second ago. But the does are just up and right of it.
Up and right of that rock.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a buck down here in this little bit of a drainage that he's pushing like 6 or 7 does, but it looks like it could be a stockable buck. So we'll just have to get better eyes on him and check it out and make sure. But we're hoping. It's not like he's really running super hard, just pushing him enough. So we're gonna get some better eyes and see if we can't really tell what he is before we get some guys in position to make a stock. So let's go.
They're gonna work straight up, and then you go to the water. But at least, so the knob you're saying is that like rock face type? Yeah, with the rock this way of it. Yeah. I'll tie like a little bit of ribbon to each of your guys' backpacks or something, so that, or whatever, so that we can kind of see too. Oh, that's a good idea. And then we'll just try that, and like I said, we'll try and get everyone with radios and earbuds and stuff, and just work it the best we can. Yeah. And then you guys let us know too what the wind's doing. Right now it's coming hard east to west. So down there, if it's different, then we'll kind of readjust our plan.
Yeah. Roll on the fly.
Yeah. And then in terms of going down, I would probably go further back.
Come on, this cut.
and get in this cut, or you can either go the way we came up and stay left, get right in the bottom, and then the other person, I think you can cross by that dam down there and run that fence line out. What's that? I think you can cross by that dam and run the fence line out.
Okay.
There may, I mean, you might have to cross a couple fences. You just evaluate when you go down. But yeah, we'll start getting some stuff ready. Pieces.
All dialed in. Got our radios good. We got the plan. All we gotta do is aim small, miss small. As you can hear, probably the wind's blowing a little bit today, but had some dust in my eyes. But we just moved spots because we got into position. Everybody snuck in tight on the different groups of deer, and Joe had a pretty good opportunity. He had a buck, nice, decent smaller 4x4, came 50 yards, and he had an operator malfunction, we'll call it. But so we just moved. We don't have a whole lot of time left. Maybe another hour and a half of daylight. So we move spots. We're just going to glass, see what we can find in some of these little cuts and bottoms that are really thick and wooded. But we'll see. We'll just get behind some glass and check it out. In the meantime, since we're going to be by the truck, I am having the greatest, most comfortable shoe in the history of America. Get some comfort, let my feet air out, and breathe a little bit. So we got some comfortable glassing for the night. Hopefully we can put some bucks to bed.
Doing a fawn.
Nice.
Andrew had a couple.
These two days. Found a couple. Any bucks?
So far.
Also, we're kind of just bouncing between different spots here and throwing some glass on some different areas. We've got some deer spotted, multiple smaller bucks, but nothing sizable yet to go get a stock on. And it's been cool. Been a couple different muley bucks, some coos bucks, so a little mixed bag this morning. Keep popping around and getting different glass areas and go from there. See if we can't get one located.
Just bet it right there. Look it.
See right there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
have that
The problem
thing.
is getting a clean shot if you had a shot, but either that, you guys get in position for the deer to run to you. You know?
Yeah, it's also look at it the other way, that a running or a little bit more of a heat of the moment type crossbow could be good there too.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, like yesterday, I don't care where anybody goes.
But we could do
It'd be nice to
a
be
little
able to-
more aggressive stock, and if it doesn't turn out, we get boogieing up where you were talking.
Yeah, I was telling Joe, if this doesn't work, we could go back where all those deer were up higher, drive up that road where we got elevation, and then just start glassing down, picking stuff apart.
And we could do that instead too. I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, what are the chances on this one? I mean, he's pretty.
There's better chances for the people who are set up.
Yeah. But I mean, in general, with the bow, I mean, it's.
It kind of depends on, where he goes.
Yeah.
The whole ambush strategy is the best,
Yeah.
generally, in this terrain, because it's so thick and you can't hardly see until you're right up on him.
Right.
The cool part with where he's at, he's right next to that green
The only green thing there.
bush, so that's a good reference point in terms of someone,
Yep.
if they stalk up the backside and come over, they might actually be able to see
See that bush? Not only that,
with binoculars, pick it out and be like,
See.
okay, now I see where he's at.
right?
Because he blends in like crazy.
Yeah, you can hardly see him.
Yeah.
So then you could, as you're getting closer, Joe, I would just, you could figure out distances of everything, and you just get that crossbow shouldered, that last little bit, but you just move slow, and he very, very likely could bump. Well, we've got a decent coot buck bedded over here just on the downwind side of the top of the ridge. We got a game plan. We're gonna make a little stalk, get everybody in position, and then have one person be more of the aggressor, and hopefully they get right in tight and they can get a shot. Otherwise, we've got more of the escape route setups just in case they go that way, and we can find ourselves in an opportunistic setting where we have to get an arrow in. But it's always exciting getting on a stalk. Like I said the other day, if you get on one stalk a day, that's consider yourself fortunate. So we're at day 3. We're going to be opportunists. So let's do this thing.
Doctor's orders.
Well, we're back at the truck here. We glassed this evening and saw a bunch of different groups of deer and a couple of small bucks, but nothing that we're really into going after. But earlier today we did a stalk on a coos buck that didn't work out, gave us a slip, and that's just part of bow hunting. So back at it in the morning. Good morning. We got morning of day 4. It's a little bit warmer this morning, but we've got a couple different things, a couple different deer we've glassed up. So Ben's got a nice one. What do we got cooking, Ben?
We've got a decent 3x located this morning with some other small bucks, and he's with a bunch of does. We're just kind of keeping tabs on him right now. We're also glassing around while the light's good this morning, trying to see what else we can dig dig up, keeping tabs on this guy, and then hopefully we can bet him and create a game plan and get folks in on him and see if we can't kill him. So stay tuned. So there's a bunch of deer right in front, right here. Just stop it over here. Just right there. That's one. The buck and the doe are beyond on that grassy ridge, and he's bedded right now with the doe. So we'll just see what we can find.
Well, we were way up on that knob. We had a we glassed a buck, and it was a nice 3-point. And so we drove around here. We're gonna get a couple guys in position here. A couple on this saddle, and one more going around just to see. We'll evaluate it, but we'll get in there tight and do our best again. So here we go, another stalk. Hopefully we can knock an arrow and fling it. So we'll see. Hey guys, it's about 11 o'clock. We got in this morning. We actually got beat to a spot that we wanted to get to. We tried to get on a buck last night and got close, but just didn't get it done. So tried to get back there in the morning and got beat. So we just found other places to glassed up some deer. Andrew actually glassed up a coos that we tried to get to a different area and get better eyes on. And hopefully we can find them and make a stalk on them. So that's kind of where we're sitting right now. And we'll probably have lunch here in just a second. See what we can find for the afternoon. Last day, so we're just gonna be opportunists if we find anything and get on them. So let's go. Fling an arrow or two. Howdy, we're back here at the place now tonight. We had our last day of hunting today. We got on some bucks, or we got on some deer. We saw some good bucks. One in particular was probably a 150-inch 3-point that we got into position and hung out and just stayed patient. Joe made a play around. He got pretty close multiple times and ended up just kind of dogging them all the way back to us. We were in the saddle that they were going to feed through to go back to this lower bottom. And ultimately what happened was Joe had a shot through some really thick brush, took it, missed clean, and then Jason, as they were filtering through the saddle, had a shot at like 40 yards and just had a flat out clean miss as well. So, not the end we wanted for sure. You come down to these trips, and at the end of the day, your ultimate goal is to kill. But it's bow hunting at the end of the day. And, stuff goes wrong at a moment's notice in the heat of the moment, and you can't even understand it or describe what happens sometimes even. So, Jason could hit that target at 40 yards no problem, and in the heat of the moment, he just missed. It's just the way of the world. Better than a wound. So, all in all, we had a great trip. We saw a lot of great deer. We put on a ton of miles. We did a lot of glassing. Ben and Andrew with Shadow Valley, they're just awesome dudes, and we had a great time joking around with them and having fun, just like some old hunting buddies. And but yeah, they're world-class people, and they know what they're looking for. They're incredible at glassing, and they understand what the deer are going to do. So it was super fun.